Record.
Okay, now I got recording here. Everything's good. Good volume's good.
Intro.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show. This is episode 10. So if you guys are still listening to us since episode 1, thank you. We appreciate you guys.
If you're just starting, you got 9 to watch.
So this is the first episode of the 2025 season, or actually 2025 year.
Season.
Yeah, season, whatever. I hope
Yeah,
y'all.
just
I'm
for a
thinking
season.
Christmas, New Year's season. I hope you all had a good Christmas, had a good New Year's. I think we're still in Hanukkah, so if you're celebrating Hanukkah, I hope you're having a great Hanukkah.
We still have our Christmas decorations up,
Yeah.
clearly.
Well, outside, I took all my Christmas decorations out. Usually do it on New Year's Day or the day after New Year's Day. I think one year we left it out all month of January.
January.
Yeah, but we don't do that anymore.
No, because it was freezing when
Yeah.
we were trying to bring it in. Too cold in January to do that.
Yeah. And also it kind of felt odd.
Yeah, it did feel weird.
So I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. Hope it was, a great time spending with family. Hopefully no drama, which is kind of impossible. There's always some drama.
Something.
But yeah, we're excited for this year, another year. This is going to be our first full year doing this podcast, because I think we just started in October, end of October, November, beginning of November is when we started. It was just like over a year or 2 years of us just like planning, and then me trying to figure out how to use equipment.
Yeah, the technology part.
And then, then I would put it off for a while because we're doing stuff for the house. But now we're in it. We're full force. We're dedicated. We're going to make sure we bring you guys out an episode every week. And we just pray that we continue consistent with this, because we want to treat it like a job. We're just like, look, we got to get an episode out. We got to do it. We can't go by, oh, I don't feel like it. We got to do it, so we got to put this out, and we're going to really work on just being consistent and just trying to get you guys more content and for the year. So for you guys that don't know who we are, I am Anderson, and this is my wife, Tina. We have been married for 22 years. This year will be 21 years.
21.
This year
will be
22. In September of this year will be 22 years that we've been married, and we've been together for 31 years. Yeah.
See, I always just say we've been together since we
31
were in
years,
middle school.
since I was 12 and she was 13.
Middle school, people.
Yeah.
Middle school.
She was a teenager. I was a preteen.
Mm-hmm.
Should be some law there. Just kidding.
So I think we knew each other a little bit before we got married.
So we've been
Just
together for a
little
long
bit.
time, and we have 3 daughters, 2 adults, 1 still in high school, and it's a full house, and it's just me fending for myself against all these women.
All the females. You
Yeah.
don't stand a chance.
Yeah. So today we're gonna watch 2 Reddit story. We're gonna watch 2
We're going to
TikTok,
watch a story. Yeah.
2 TikTok videos or reels, and then we're gonna go over a Reddit story. And the Reddit story, it's kind of unique. I think we're gonna have quite a bit to say about it.
One of those watch till the end things.
Right. So the TikTok, the first TikTok, it's been going around, this TikTok video. It's been going viral. So many people have been stitching it and reacting to it. It's been going viral, and I'm just gonna play it, and then we'll discuss it. I don't think you've seen it. You might have seen it.
I might.
Yeah.
The one with the blonde girl?
No.
Okay,
not
this is
her.
a different one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, let's play that, and then we'll
Play.
discuss it, because I think it's a it kind of gives you an understanding of how men are. So here we go.
Hey, what are you doing? I came out to check on you.
Huh?
What are you doing? Thought you were working.
I'm looking at this.
What is it?
It's wire. It's a spool of wire. And I'm almost out of it. Can you see the spool of wire? Mm-hmm. I'm almost out of it.
Okay.
And I've had this spool of wire for like 40 years. I bought it like this it's not a long time ago, but it's like 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense? This is what's left. Does that make sense?
Sorry to hear that, and sad for you, but you're wearing your Jets hat, and I'm a little concerned right now that you're wearing your Jets hat. I thought that's why you were crying.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh.
All right, so
He was like trying to be like sentimental in the moment, and she was like, anyways.
yeah, he was totally opening up to her.
Yeah.
Which what most women say they want men to do. Most of these women say, open up to us, we want to.
We
And
want to
when
know
they
how
do-
you feel. How do you feel?
And when they do, that happens.
You get shut down.
I mean, I understand where the guy's talking about. The guy's basically saying that roll of string represents 40 years of his life. He
Yeah.
was just reflecting. I've had this thing for 40 years. 40 years, and it was this big. Now, he's just like, it just made him reflect on the past 40 years. Not even sensitive to that. She just totally was like, okay, why are you wearing a Jets hat?
Well, she shut him down is what she basically did. She didn't get what he was trying to do there. Like, he's probably remembering all the projects he's needed that spool of wire for.
Yeah.
Maybe he did some projects with we don't know. Maybe he has some kids.
Yeah.
Maybe he's done some projects with the kids. Maybe he did some projects with his dad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like 40 years of like just like picturing all this stuff in his head, like, oh, the amount of things that I've had to use this spool of wire for over the last 40 years.
Right.
And now it's basically gone.
Yeah. A lot of times men are like that with their tools. Like I remember with your dad, you had that neighbor, Red, and we went over his garage, and he had tools from 40, 50, 60 years ago. This guy's just kept his tools. And although I didn't get to talk to Red about the tools, I know that a lot of times guys would have a tool, say it could be like his friend. I have screwdrivers from when I first became an electrician. I still have some. When so it could be like, say a guy has a wrench. Like, I remember I used this wrench when I changed my first starter or my first alternator in a car, or when I changed, when I did my first brake. It's like
symbolic.
It
ends up being symbolic in your head.
because when he holds this wrench, it makes him think about that time and how far he's come. And he's like, and I remember when I changed my first set of brakes, my dad was there helping me. My dad was there teaching me. Or, I remember when I used this wrench and my son needed a new starter, and I helped him change the starter in his car, and I used this wrench. Things like that make men reflect. And because a woman most likely wouldn't see that, she most likely would not comprehend, because she's like, I wouldn't have a roll of string for 40 years.
Well, it would be something else.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like the blanket that your child came home from the hospital in, or something like that.
Right.
So like, it's almost like both like male and female, we all reflect back.
Yeah.
And then because of that, we end up with like symbolism, like this is symbolic of.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe like a lot of women don't understand that men can get sentimental.
Yeah,
they can get sentimental. It's just according to different things than we would get sentimental about.
Right.
Like, we're looking at like maybe we kept the centerpiece from our wedding, 21 years ago. And like every time I look at the centerpiece, I just remember our wedding. Like it's different, but it's the same.
Right.
Yeah,
because like,
and I don't think women get that.
No.
Because men are normally not as emotional, and they're not like emotionally attached to things like women can be. So I don't think that this woman actually understood that like he was getting deep for a minute.
Right.
Well,
I think men can get attached to things like women. It's just they get attached to different things.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like the same, but different.
And men don't really talk about it.
No.
Men.
No.
A man would be like, for example, say if I had a set of wrenches.
You and the wrenches.
I'm just doing something that everybody can relate to. I use mostly screwdrivers and power tools because I'm an electrician, but wrenches, I do have some. But say a mechanic has a set of wrenches that he's had for 30 years, and these wrenches are really good, and he used them a lot, and they're still strong, right? And then somebody comes and buys him a whole new set. He's not going to use that whole new set.
He's not going to use it.
Nope.
It's not, what it reminds me of is that episode on Everybody Loves Raymond when Ray finds out that basically all the gifts that they've ever given his father, Frank, they put them down in the basement because they don't use them.
Right.
So he goes down there and he says, "Why aren't you using the CD player that we bought you?"
Right.
And he's trying to explain to him, that like the sound that comes out of this CD player is incredible.
Right.
And he plays him a CD, but all his dad, Frank, wants to do is play a record.
Right.
And he likes the sound of the records.
Right.
He doesn't like the CDs.
Right.
It's like that episode.
Yeah. So exactly. I mean, hey, lesson to you people, when you get your parents or grandparents something, don't get them new technology or don't get them something.
Most likely not.
If they're using something and it's working fine, don't get them an updated version.
Yeah, don't think you have to upgrade them.
Unless they ask. They like using their old things. They like, if it works, they like using it.
I mean, I still have that because I found it at an antique shop, and it reminded me of Graham, was that the egg beater.
Yeah.
That like you have to crank, and it's super awkward, and it's like not
right.
Like I'm always like, how do you hold the bowl and like hold the thing, but
right.
also hold the bowl and then do the crank? Like,
yeah.
But like I wanted one.
Right.
Because my Graham always had one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are certain
symbolic.
Yeah. So there are certain things that just that triggers memories.
Yeah.
So I think a woman needs to be like, she should have been more sensitive.
More sensitive.
And you could see his reaction.
Oh man.
So in the future,
he like tanked.
Now she's gonna wonder in the future. She's gonna wonder why he'll never open up to her. Like say if his parents are still alive, say one of them passes away, and she's gonna wonder, why is he not open up to me about
how he feels
about his parent passing away?
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
You want to know what's funny is that he didn't go to her to open up to, like, he wasn't looking at it and going, I got to go talk to my wife about this.
Right.
This is crazy. This is 40 years. So like he didn't go to her, but she came to him like right as he was having that moment. And like, it was just perfect for her to be able to like sit in that with him. And then she literally chose not to.
Right.
It is sad,
It is
because
sad.
Guys don't necessarily like I said, he didn't see it and go like, oh my God, I got to go tell my wife. He was just sitting there staring at it.
Yeah.
And she just happened to like come up to him in that moment. So it was a good opportunity, and like she didn't take it.
Yeah, she opened up. She talked to him like as if he said, I just can't believe I had this for 40 years. Like if he just said it like that and then she replied about the Jets hat, whatever.
She literally was like,
but he literally went on about 40 years of having it.
The poor guy. Yeah, exactly. So like when he doesn't open up to her again, she should, don't question why then.
Yeah.
Because he opened up to you and you made him feel stupid.
Yeah.
You made him feel stupid. So
what I think what women need to understand, I think what most women need to understand, if a man opens up to you, that is like very rare. He trusts you if he opens up to you. If he opens up to you, he's trusting you. He's being vulnerable. And that's not easy for a man.
Right.
That is not easy for a man to be vulnerable, especially in front of his woman. Because, man, we always want to look strong and stoic to our women. So to be vulnerable, it's very, very hard. So if he is, you need to be appreciative of that. And you just need to be there for him and understand him.
Yeah.
He's not looking for you to solve it. He's not looking for you to try to make it better. You know, he just wants to talk about it. And then once he does,
Yeah.
he's good.
All she needed to do was acknowledge that she heard what he just said. It didn't need to be like a 1 hour conversation afterwards.
Yeah, we're not
just
looking for a
needed-
therapy session.
He probably would have been cool with like, wow, that's crazy. That's a long time, 40 years, you know? But like she gave him nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
If she
And
just
then
said-
just moved on.
Yeah.
So like she literally just like tanked him. Like she just cut him off at the knees, you know?
Yeah, I think if she just acknowledges like, wow, I can't believe you had that for 40 years. That's a long time, a lot of your life. You know, and he would hear, okay, she acknowledged what I said, and then he would have just moved on. He probably would have just moved on and be like, yep, okay, all right, and then moved on. Because he had his release. He needed to say what he needed to say, and then that was it. So to dismiss it, it made him feel foolish.
Well, it goes back also to like men want to be heard and women want to be heard. That's another thing that's like the same but different. So like
women want to be heard more than men.
Well, yeah, but but like if we never hear, then we're disrespecting you.
Right.
And men need to feel respect.
Right.
So like she basically was like, I don't hear you.
Yeah.
Shutting it down.
Or basically like, I don't care.
I don't care. Not a big deal to me.
She basically said, I don't care. And he was just like, all right, fine.
She didn't hear him or see him because you could look at him and see how much that meant to him.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal to him that he was telling her.
Yeah.
So she didn't hear him or see him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
And
not good.
Yeah. So and he probably felt foolish.
Right. He felt like an idiot, and he'll never do it again.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think women just need to just be aware. You know, if he opens up with you, just be like, okay,
this is good.
This is a moment here.
Yeah, this is a moment.
You know, I need to be present. And just know this. Like, he's not looking. Just like when women. When they vent, they don't want a solution. They just want to vent. We want to solve it. But same thing with men. We're not looking for you to solve it. We don't expect you to try to solve it. We just want to say what we have to say and then move on. We're not looking for a therapy session. We're not really looking for a hug. Not like if you did hug him, not like he would push you away, but we're not looking for that. We just want to say what we have to say, let it out, and then that's our release, and then that's it.
Well, then, feel heard, feel seen,
that's
and
it.
then move on.
Yeah, that's it. Simple as that.
Oh man, that was crazy. I was like,
yeah.
Aw.
So he did come out with another video. I guess he came out saying that I guess like a lot of people attacked her. I mean, how can you not?
How can you not?
He was basically defending her and saying she's not
stone cold.
Yeah, she's not like that, and he was defending her. And just saying she wasn't like that.
Well,
that's
he should defend his wife. He should defend
so that's
his
a good
wife,
man.
so,
That's a good man still defending his wife. And we can't judge his wife on that just one incident.
Yeah.
She probably is a great wife. It's just at that moment it was just not good.
It wasn't
a good look at that moment.
No.
So
it wasn't her best moment, probably.
No, it was not. So it's a good thing he came out and he did defend her. I saw the video, but I didn't download it, so I couldn't find it to post it on here, but he did defend her. So, and she felt bad. She felt bad about how it made it look. She felt bad.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's almost like she was trying to be funny. Like, anyways.
Yeah.
But it didn't come off that way.
Right.
But anyways.
All right. So The next one, I forgot her name. It's this blonde lady that's always goes on the
Fresh and Fit.
No,
it's not Fresh and Fit.
No, on the Whatever podcast.
Whatever podcast. That's what.
And the last time we posted a video of her is when she was basically mad at Nala for like being a Christian.
Yeah.
When she was an OF,
Christian.
model, OnlyFans model, for those of you who don't know what OF it stands for, and we did not agree with her at that point.
No,
we did not agree with her.
We don't agree with those people a lot.
Right, a lot of times
there's
don't.
always a lot of stuff that we're like, right. And you lost.
They're all about religion. They're not about faith and relationship with God.
Yeah.
But with this one, it paints her in a good light. She's definitely come up with some good points, and it's about equality. How the feminist movement is want to tell women that they are equal to men, and they're not. Does not mean they're less. There is a lot of red pill guys out there that will say that women are inferior. No, they're not.
And we don't believe that.
Them
obviously.
Not being equal does not be they're inferior. No, inferior in like strength, like yeah, but in humanity, no, no. Mm-mm. And like as a parent, she's not inferior to me, you know, because she's a mom and I'm the dad. I am the leader of the household, but her parenting style is different than me, and our children need both.
Yeah, we're not equal, but we're equally important.
Yes, so
that's what we say.
So she talks about equality here, and I think she makes some good points. So let's play that, and then we'll react to that and let you know what we think our points are on this.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure, right? None of this stuff in the studio is built or maintained by women. Do you know that 90% of infrastructure jobs are still held by men? Mm-hmm. And that if you look at the top 20 jobs held by women now in 2024 versus 1924 are almost the exact same. So women have had 100 years to do whatever they want, and they still do the same 20 jobs they did 100 years ago, other than we switched out farm labor for HR work. But other than that, we're secretaries, nurses, daycare ladies, early childhood education, administrative assistants, retail workers, all the same shit that we were a century ago. So if the men are the ones tasked with every time there's a natural disaster, they have to go out and rescue people from the fires and the floodwaters, and every time there's a war, the men have to go and fight it and defend the country, and anytime there's a criminal who needs to be violently arrested, it's going to be a man who goes and does that, not a woman. Where does the equality come in? If we're doing the fluffy jobs, we're all singers, we got a lot of singers and musicians, which is cool, it's great, I love music too. But y'all ain't rescuing people and doing the heavy lifting or the dirty or the dangerous jobs, like who collects the trash? Men. Who does all the steel working and oil rig work and all of the sewer cleaning?
Bam.
Yeah, so this is the moments where we definitely agree with her. I gotta look up her name real quick.
This whole like equality thing, like what she was just talking about, literally just shut it down, because it's true. They want to say that we want equality. They want to be treated the same as men, but they also don't want to do the jobs that men are doing. And that is not to say that some women don't become electricians. He knows some. Carpentry, blah, blah, blah. We're talking majority, okay? Majority of labor jobs are done by men. So if they're talking like equality, then why aren't you working in the sewers? You know, why aren't you climbing the skyscrapers? Why aren't you doing the dangerous jobs? Why aren't you doing the heavy lifting labor jobs then? You know, like she said, it's the same 20 jobs that we've been doing for, you know, centuries or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't. I mean, although there are women in, you know, in the trades, there are women police officers, there are women firefighters. They're not the majority.
They're not the majority.
They're a very small.
Men still hold those positions.
They're a very small percentage, like less than 10%, sometimes less than 5% of the workforce. And in the trades, a company looks good when they hire women. I mean, how crazy is
So,
that? Like
equality?
Yeah, like
Equal?
it's like it doesn't look good when they hire men. They don't care, but if you hire a woman, it looks good for them.
Right.
You know, so
But then on the job site, say like, okay, you're an electrician. The woman on the job site, if you're an electrician, is treated differently and given different tasks to do because she's a woman.
right. So in construction, whatever trade you're in, there can be some heavy lifting. There can be a lot of heavy lifting, and women the women aren't really tasked with those jobs.
You're doing the yucky parts too. I mean, there's like, like crawling underneath a house and going up in the disgusting attic, full of spiders. And
so years ago, we were doing downtown Worcester, one of the old buildings. We were running new wire for all the heating and ventilation, air ventilation systems. And there were some parts we had to go down in the basement. And there was me and an apprentice. She was like a first year apprentice, and we were down in the basement. It was scary. And she was like, do not leave me alone down here. She was like freaking out, right? Where, I mean, most of us, this is like a 200-year-old building, probably older than that. It was pretty scary down there. But like, I wasn't freaking out, but she was, And then there was other jobs where the woman was doing like the easy work. It was like really easy work.
So
was she good at it? Was she good at it? Did she do a good job at it? Yeah, she did. For example, there's like 10-foot 4-inch rigid pipe. 10 feet of rigid 4-inch pipe is really heavy. Even for me, like I can't carry it like 100 feet. I could probably carry it like 5 feet. And then after that, I'm sore. That's how heavy it is. Something like that, you need 2 men. You'll hardly ever see a woman doing like that and doing anything like that. She'll probably, a lot of them do, you'll see them like cutting in a panel where all the wires are going into the electrical panel and they're cutting them in, putting in the breakers. Pretty easy work, and it's good work. And I think women would probably be good at that because it will make it look nice and neat, and you want it to be nice and neat. So, sorry, I just want to take a sip.
I'm like, I was just going to put it here because you've hit it twice. Put it here.
So
anyway, sorry.
Not saying that women can't do the heavy lifting.
They're just
but if you have a bunch of men, bigger bone density, usually more muscle than a woman, you're gonna want who's the best. Like for example, if there was 2 big guys and a couple of small guys, probably gonna take the 2 big guys
to go lift the pipe,
carry the pipe.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the same thing. Why have this small woman or a couple of small women do it when you got a couple of big guys? It's like the same
and
thing.
I also think it's the mentality of the men that would be surrounding that woman. They're not going to sit there and watch her carry this heavy pipe when they could do it.
Right.
They just have, it's like built in them to be like, I got that.
Right.
Oh, let me do that. And I think if they saw her doing that, they would step in and be like, whoa.
Right.
Let me do that. You go do whatever.
Right. And I think a lot of women, a lot of the feminists, what they want is equality of power.
Yeah.
They don't, they're not looking for equality in the trades. They're not. They're not looking for equal plumbers, equal carpenters, equal electricians. No. They want equal
jobs.
They want equal lawyers, jobs. Equal judges, equal people in government.
Yeah.
Equal doctors, like those big powerful jobs. That's what they want. So but then again, it's like you can scream equality all you want, but you're not choosing the jobs.
You're not choosing the hard jobs. Majority speaking.
Yeah.
We know girls that, like we've said, who are electricians or maybe got into the carpentry or what they do some sort of a labor job. It's not the majority. Still, like women fought for all these rights, and there's still feminists feminists like fighting for equality still.
Right.
Like there's still this, it's different now. The movement is extremely different now and toxic. But they're still fighting for women's rights, but they're still not choosing the hard jobs. Those are not the ones that they're fighting for. They want the high power jobs, you know, that'll give them a high power title.
Yeah.
Is what they want. I worked in daycares. I worked in 3 different daycares. Every single one of them chock full of women.
Yeah.
No men. Like there's just certain
because women like
professions or trades.
Yeah, women like to
that
work with
are
people.
Kind of gender specific.
Yeah.
I can count on one hand how many men I worked in 3 different daycares.
Right.
On
Yeah.
one hand.
Yeah, I mean, because women like to work with people. Like that's why women are in daycare.
Secretaries,
They're teachers, nurses, you know, things like that. Where you know, men don't need to. Men aren't like that. Oh, waitresses. There are more
They're
waitresses than
that
there are
women.
waiters.
Yeah.
You know, so
They're better with people.
right, a man can get a job where he's like alone all day and he'd be fine. He'd be fine.
I know,
I
because
mean, that'll be
I
harder for a
remember
woman.
feeling bad, like because you used to work for yourself, and I remember being like, he's like literally going to be alone all day in a basement, and you're like, oh, I don't care. I like listen to a podcast all day and whatever, you know, drink my coffee and just get the job done, and I'm good.
Yeah, because we're
And
just
it
focused.
it baffled me. Like I was like, he's not telling me the truth. He's lying to me. He's down there like, I'm so lonely.
No.
So low.
Yeah, because we're just like focused on the task, and
Yeah,
you
just
know,
getting
and
the
when we're
task done.
focused, it's like that's why I had an apprentice who I let go because he talked too much. I have no problem talking while working, but here's the thing: talking while working, he wasn't. He would talk and then like not work, like he
Yeah.
would just like stand there
Yeah.
and then like, and 15 minutes would go by and nothing was done. Where I'm like, look, and I had to keep telling him like, hey, I have no problem talking, but you got to work while you talk, you know, and it was just not happening. So I had to let him go. Like, you know, so, you know, that's why I think a lot of times like men are cool with that, but women like working with things. Women they're still choosing the same job. She's right. They're still choosing the same jobs.
And they want to fight for equality because what they're doing is basically they're fighting for more money. It's always the bottom line.
Right.
The bottom line is money.
Right.
And they're always saying that women get paid less than men. But they don't look at the whole picture. Men work more hours than women. Men are doing the harder jobs than women.
Right.
There's a bunch of factors that go into that they never want to really talk about or focus on.
Yeah,
and
so
they'll say like, "Oh, men get paid more than women do." Well, it's like the same thing with like women's basketball and men's basketball.
Right.
They get paid more because they bring more money in.
Right.
You know, and then like the women are like that. You know, that's not equal. That's not fair. And when in all reality, it is very fair. They bring more money in, so they make more.
Right. Yeah. Because there was another a job where I did work for another solar company where all I did was inspections for them. I met with the city inspectors, and there was another woman that did the same thing. And after a while, she started working in the office. And here's the thing: she did that. So here's the thing: when you doing inspections, some places are pretty sketchy, and you have to go in like a really sketchy basement, and there's just like a guy there. Sometimes I'll even sketched out, right? So now she's like a little woman. She's like your height, you know, and she's going, and she said she had like a knife and mace, you know, and it's like, it's crazy, right? But she ended up working in the office, right? And she says, the only thing is like, I'm not working as many hours as you guys, which is true. Jordan Peterson talks about this. Women work less hours than men. So there is no wage gap. We're getting paid like the same, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying you have to look at all the factors.
So what she started doing was she started testing and getting licensed, her master license. She would get licensed in other states because she wants to be valuable by how many licenses she has, not what she can do on the field. And for her, it's working out for her. So it's great. She's doing great. She's working for a great company. I was going to work there, but insurance sucked. But she's doing great because she's being utilized by all the licenses she's getting.
Right. So she was using this.
Right. Exactly.
Instead of her hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to get myself towards too, because I'm getting older. But I'm just saying, like, that's what she utilized. She wasn't trying to get better in the field. She was trying to get better by having more licenses, which is a smart thing.
Yeah,
so,
she went like down a different route.
Right.
Or, you know.
So
But it was smart. It's smart. It's a smart way to go.
Right. So
yeah.
So I just want to get down to the basics,
Right.
that men and women, we're not the same, just because not only in just careers, we're just different. We're built different.
Mm-hmm.
Men are most likely bigger. Just in any other species, you see the lion is bigger than the lioness. A male bear is bigger than a female bear. We're bigger. We're built bigger, denser bones,
that's on
bigger
purpose.
muscles.
That's on purpose.
Because we have more testosterone. We're just like, we're built that way. The women are more the nurturers. They stay home. They're better with the kids than we are.
See,
You
and
know?
I feel like a woman watching this right now is going, are you kidding me? Like, oh, that's all we're good for? I see that as like a flex. How is that not a flex?
Yeah.
We're nurturing. We're good with people. We're raising the next generation. Like, how is that not a flex?
Yeah, I don't know
and
how
women see
women-
it as like, oh, you're trying to cut us down.
Yeah.
You're trying to like minimize us. Like, how?
You ever
Being a mom is the biggest job on the planet.
Right.
And it is the most rewarding and it is the best job on the planet.
Right.
So to degrade that is, like, that's on you. If you don't see it, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I'm proud to say I'm like a stay-at-home mom. Like, this is what I do. This is me. This is what I do. I have a lot of things that I'm good at in doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
this is what I do. And like, I'm proud of that. And I just feel like women who feel like they can't say that because like they're embarrassed or something is like,
Right.
it's just proof of like what's going on in society and how people talk about, about women and like jobs they would have or roles they would have, but it's like it's stuff that we're good at,
Right.
and you should be proud of that.
Right, yeah.
Like we're teachers and nurses and stuff like that because we're loving, nurturing, understanding, good with people, organized.
Right.
Like these are all things.
Right. Yeah.
Like we're very good at like remembering things and like applying it to all areas. We have spaghetti brains, they have compartment brains. We can do more than one thing at once.
Right.
We can think more than one thing at once.
Right.
These are like superpowers.
That's why women are better receptionists or secretaries, because they are just better organized.
Right.
And a boss
Yeah.
and whoever you work for needs you to be that organized, because they're probably not.
They're not. So like usually, it's like a CEO with like his female receptionist.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you look at that picture, you're thinking like, oh, she's beneath him, blah, blah, blah. No, she's acting in the role that she's really good at.
Right.
And she's going to get paid for it. She's going to get paid well for it.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
anyways.
So the one last thing before we move on, there was this clip on The Simpsons, where they did the progression of this woman and like from where she was a kid to like when she's old, and it shows like her as a kid. She's like, I want to be a doctor and a lawyer. And then it shows her as an adult. She's in the courtroom and she asked the judge, can we go to recess? I got to go deliver a baby. So she goes, and then it shows her in like her
I'm going to
living.
do both.
And then it shows her in her living room and smoking a cigarette. She has a couple of cats, and then she's like, you know what? I could have gotten married, but my career, blah, 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 this and that. And then it shows the next clip, and she's the old cat lady in The Simpsons. Remember the old cat lady? You can't understand her. She just throws her cats. That's who she became.
Yeah.
Because
So
she
it's like
married.
people are
because
not
she
going-
married her career.
People are not going to remember your career.
No.
It's what
We're not saying that women. Look, this is 2025. We're not saying women should not have careers, but we're just saying a woman. A lot of times, women. It's like it's my career or having a family getting married and having a family. You can do both.
Well, you can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then at the same time, okay, you're not going to be able to work as much, so then don't complain that like the guy that holds the same job as you is getting paid more when he works more hours because like you're a mom and a wife and you got the house to take care of and blah blah blah, and like it's like you're taking on two roles, which is funny
because even with men, a lot of times even men would trade time with family over the powerful position. There might be some men, they're like, oh, the more power I have, the better, right? Mm-hmm. But most of the time, men are like, I want more time with my family instead of having a great position where I'm like, I'm hardly home. So
yeah, there's got to be a balance.
Yeah, but feminist is telling women, it's good to have the career, have that over family.
Yeah, because they want to take the mom out of the house, because when you take the mom out of the house, you interrupt the nuclear family.
Yeah, there's no masculine.
You throw it off.
There's no masculine movement telling men, have the career.
Yes.
Forget the women.
Forget a wife.
The only thing
you don't need her.
The only thing that's close to that I don't agree with is the red pill talking about. Build your career until you're 35, make your money, build your business and then find a woman. But then they'll complain that women that they date only want them for their money.
Right. So if you had gotten together with a good woman in your 20s and you built something together.
Right. I would say
you're better
get a woman.
Together.
I think when a man has a woman by his side,
he's more motivated.
He is. He wants to, impress his woman. He wants to show her this is what I can do. You know what I mean? It's not.
He's the provider and the protector. So both.
So I think a woman, it just helps him, especially if he has a good woman. A good woman, it just helps him move better in life. So I say, find a woman young. Don't build an empire first, and then just be promiscuous until you're 35. Nah. The red pill will tell young guys like that to do that. Nah, don't do that.
Do you ever think you would see a movement? We don't need no woman.
No. I think
it's just ridiculous.
It's kind of almost like that, where there are men in the red pill space who say, "I'll never get married."
They're more career.
Yeah,
they just care about their career.
Well, a lot of them say they'll never get married is because of the legal status in marriage, where she can leave him and take half his stuff, and men are just like, instead of finding a good woman and working on my marriage and making sure that doesn't happen, to them it's like it's better to not get married.
Right.
It's
funny though, because like the feminist movement is like, we don't need no man, we're independent, blah blah blah. But I feel like you would never see that kind of a movement coming from the men.
No,
because men are like, we need women. Like
most men do. There are some men in the red pill space saying not saying that they don't need women.
They just don't want to get.
They don't want to get married.
Yeah, they don't see the value in getting married.
Yeah, they don't. So, but then
that's a topic for another podcast.
Right. All right, so we're gonna get into this Reddit story, and so it's let's just get into it.
All right,
here we go.
Are we reading it? What's going on?
All right, so I should have left him 3 years ago, and now I'm marrying him.
I'm confused.
All right, so I need to confess something, and I know people might have their opinion about it. I've never shared this with anyone before, but I feel like I need to get it off my chest. Sounds like something's going to be serious. So
this is super serious.
I'm getting married in a week, but I've been carrying some unresolved feelings since the day he proposed. I, 29 female, am marrying a man, 34 male, who I love, but I'm struggling with insecurities. I've never cheated on him. I've always been honest and never, is that one of the girls?
I'm like, you read, I'll text.
I've always been honest and loyal, but he emotionally cheated on me.
Emotionally cheated on her.
Yeah, which it can be cheating.
Oh yeah.
Some people think it can't.
Absolutely.
but it can.
No, cheating doesn't have to be physical.
So let's read on and see how he emotionally cheated. He was texting other women, making inappropriate comments, and even saying he wanted to sleep with them.
Did he ever act it out?
It doesn't seem like he has. At the time, I was ready to leave, but he convinced me he would change. He has been better for the last 3 years, but I still carry this nagging fear and doubt in my mind.
Okay, so I think this goes back to, can men change?
Men can.
And how do you know that they have changed and they're being truthful?
Men can, but will he change? We don't know. We don't know. So
yeah, we don't know him.
I think there's a lot of things going on here. All right, so
what was there? Another page?
All right. Yep, there is. All right, so
maybe
I'm overthinking things or even being irrational, but I feel like he's the one who made me this way.
Well, yeah. Well, he
not intentionally. I mean, what he did was bad, but he can't control the way you feel.
No, well, hello.
But what he did was bad.
He told her to not trust him, basically, is what he did. So now she has to work on trusting him again. If she wants to stay with him.
Right, but I think it's not just her. He has to do some work on his part.
Yeah.
Too. So, all right. So, but I feel like he's the one who made me this way. I'm ashamed of how I've let this relationship affect me and how far I've let it progress. And I feel like I'm too far in to back out now. Instead of constantly asking myself if I'm making the right choices, I tell myself, make the choice right. So I'm trying to just enjoy the connection we have and push my doubts aside.
I mean, you know the saying, go with your gut.
Right. But I don't know. I want to know if she's talked to him about this.
Well, it's like, what steps are they taking to get past
right.
it? If they're taking 0 steps, they're doing nothing different. They're not seeking any help.
Right.
And she just expects it to fix itself.
Right.
Then that's why she's feeling like that.
Right.
She's feeling like this isn't fixed yet, but I'm still here.
Right.
Why am I still here? Should I still be here?
All right. I mean, yeah.
Should I solidify it with marriage? Like, what am I doing?
Like, marriage is not
She's doubting herself.
Marriage will not fix it.
No, absolutely
If there's
not.
a problem in your relationship, marriage won't fix it. The problem will still be there.
It'll still be there. But it'll be bigger now because
right.
now you're married.
All right. So, but deep down, I wonder if I'm the right person for this relationship, especially considering his narcissistic tendencies.
Oh, it's so hard to deal with a narcissist.
All right, but what's she mean? It's exhausting, and I'm just sad. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm trying to make it the best. I'm trying to make the best of it. So what's the narcissistic tendencies? Is he like making it seem like you were the one? Like, that's what I want to know.
Maybe
you can't just say that and not give an example.
Maybe he's kind of acting like he's turning it around and somehow he's the victim and he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, these are the details that this write-up is not giving.
I know.
So we can't sit here and assume, but like what narcissistic tendencies are you talking about? Because we can't talk about any tendencies if she's not giving them to us,
Right. So that was one of the answers. Just want to make sure. So, yeah. No, I think what I think is, based on just this, if there's no other information that this person can give, and this is what's been going on, it seems to me you and him haven't really discussed this and resolved this and gone through some counseling. I think she needs to go through some counseling and need to talk to him.
Wait. She has to go through counseling?
They both do.
Okay, together or?
I would say maybe together and separate, because because she's having the issues. This is some issues she has to resolve. Now, if he is being narcissistic, she needs to learn to deal with it and then make a decision. Let's say if he is, let's say if he is being narcissistic and
Okay,
always,
when you say deal with it, what do you mean?
okay,
I think you said that wrong.
okay, let's say,
Deal with it.
well, no, what I think she needs to learn on how to handle
it.
this situation, and how to make the correct decision. Now, she has to make the decision correctly and not just on feelings, right? So say if he is being narcissistic, right?
Which is very
always
hard to
throwing
deal
it
with.
back in her face. Let's just say she hears him on the phone with a woman. Mm-hmm. She wants to know who this woman is. And then he throws it in her face. Why are you always on me? How come every time I talk to a woman, you got issues? I told you I'm not going to do that anymore. You can't get over it. Like, that's not going to help. If that's what he's doing, that's not going to help. It's going to make her feel more insecure and make her feel that you are still cheating, because you're getting defensive and you're throwing it back at her and basically saying she's the problem. If that's what's going on, then this is some issues you need to work out on. You need to be like, listen, obviously this is some unresolved issues and we need to fix this if we're going to get married. So I'm going to set up an appointment for us to go through, seek some counseling. Because then if you go through some counseling and he's still being like that, then you can be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the guy I should marry. I dodged a bullet.
Right. You want to see effort, you know? Well, you want him to acknowledge that he did do something wrong and that he sees it as wrong.
Right.
Because if he doesn't see anything wrong with what he was doing, that's a problem. And then, like, yeah, you want to see that there's some sort of effort on his part in fixing all of that.
Right. Like, and if
he's still doing same old, then there's no effort.
Yeah, he should delete all social media. Right. And any female
to show you,
and any female that he is not related to, delete from your phone. Even if it's your girlfriend or your future wife's friend. Well,
why would that be on his phone?
But like it's like anything like that. This is how he should show her that he's serious. If he hasn't done that, maybe that's why. And because even though he might not talking to these women, he's still friends with her on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever. He might not be talking to them. It still hasn't really shown her that he's made an effort. And to him, that's an effort. And then he might be getting mad and just thinking she's being ridiculous. This is stuff that they would find out through counseling, because it doesn't show that she's talked to her. Yeah. So let's see.
It would open up communication doors if they were to involve a third party.
Right. So this person says their relationship is not worth the risk of it getting any deeper and having even bigger ties. This is what I'm saying. If you go through marriage counseling and the dude's not changing, he's like
not changing. He sees nothing wrong with what he did.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why she feels like I don't talk to anybody. Then, and he's not doing anything to reassure you that he's not doing this and just getting mad at you about it. Then yeah, I would agree with this person. I would definitely agree. The other one says, if you're exhausted now, imagine what will be later. Do with this as you wish. So yeah, exactly. If she
what?
No, I pressed stop recording, but we're recording again.
You did it again.
I almost did what I did a few episodes ago, but it's recording again. I checked
take that button off.
I checked it. No, so basically, yeah. So exactly. If nothing is resolved, and you go on with this marriage, it's not going to end well, because now he's your husband. He's not just your fiance.
It's going to be way messier if you figure out after you're married that this man is not going to change.
Right.
And he sees nothing wrong with this behavior. He sees nothing wrong with talking to other women, saying inappropriate things to them. He doesn't see, that's the thing. Like, if he sees nothing wrong with what he's doing, he's going to continue.
Right.
So he needs to show you that he now sees that it's not okay.
Right, yeah.
It's not okay. And this is what I'm going to do to show you that I have completely stopped that behavior.
Right.
I have stopped, and I'm going to prove it to you.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's going to have to do the time.
Yeah. If
he's going to have to put time in and show some effort, you know, like.
If he really loves you, you know, he would, you know, he definitely would go through counseling to you know, if like, hey, if this is what you need to make our marriage better, then yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it with you. I'll go through it's uncomfortable, you know, and I think that's the best way. So let's just, we don't know his side, you know, but let's just, you know, going by her side. And if this is exactly what's going on, yeah, I mean, he definitely needs to do a lot more to show her that he's not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And when you're with a woman, you have no business talking to other women.
No. You should have, you know, acquaintances at work, you know.
Right. There was this, you know, when I worked somewhere and I worked with a woman, there were times she would call me, ask me questions about inspections. That's it. I wouldn't be like, how was your weekend?
Right. Like, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, God, no.
Never be like that.
There's always a line that you cross.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're like, I don't call up your friends.
Oh, God, no.
I have conversations. I mean, I don't want to.
No.
I have nothing to say. But
what would we talk about? Nothing.
You know. But yeah, there's definitely got to be boundaries. And this guy, there was no boundaries in this relationship.
Right.
And he overstepped and he overstepped big time, telling another woman he wants to sleep
with her.
I mean, that's
a big one.
That's a big one. And
because it's like there's certain things you do before you actually act out the thing that you're talking about. And it's like, that's got to be in the steps of things.
Right.
Like you verbally say it, you know, and then like.
So I understand her insecurities. I understand why she feels this way. I totally get it.
Like, do I have any business marrying this man that just did this?
Right. So that's what I would do. You know, last thing is I would just talk to him, tell him if we're going to get married, we got to fix this and we got to go through some marriage counseling. And
if he's not willing to do it, then you have your answer.
Yeah, then you might have dodged a bullet.
Yeah, you have your answer because that's the kind of effort you will see from him in your marriage.
Yeah,
that's the kind of effort you'll see.
The pain. If you leave him, the pain you will feel will be temporary, versus the long-term pain you'll feel in the future if you marry him
and have children, a family, own a house. Like it just gets really, really ugly if you figure this out too late.
Yeah.
You know,
you want a man that sees
figure it out now.
You and only wants to sleep with you.
He needs to show you that, you know, you're important to him.
Yeah, exactly.
That this is important, that this relationship is important to him.
Yeah.
You know, and he doesn't want to throw it away and he's willing to work on it. So if he says he's not going to go through any kind of counseling, therapy, anything like that, then you have your answer, because that's the kind of effort you're going to see through your marriage, and you're going to be very frustrated.
Right.
Very frustrated.
Yeah, and if he doesn't want to go to counseling yourself, because that way the counselor can help you, the therapist can help you with some tools on how to handle this and how to go about making a correct decision, where it's not just feelings. It's you know this is whatever decision you make. If you decide to leave, you know it's a good decision, and although it's going to be painful, you'll know it was the right decision. So you will need to do that. So even if he doesn't want to go, which he probably won't, but hopefully he will, go yourself. and then go from there.
Right.
All right, so this is it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show. Happy New Year. Happy 2025.
2025.
We're excited to come out with more episodes and just get better. So we pray that in 2026, of New Year of 2026, we're a lot better. And we're just being better content.
2025 is going to give us a lot of content.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think we're going to be lacking content, so stay tuned.
No. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.